Well, hello everybody, and this is Auntie, and I'm just coming to you with some breaking news you can use. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the latest drama involving Daonte from Love After Lockup and Addy as things move from social media tension to an actual custody filing. A court date has been reportedly set, and after recent comments and actions, Daonte appears to be stepping in to protect his parental roles. Y'all, let's go ahead on and talk about it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, for my consistent reviews. All in all, who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie's advice. Sweet old. It's time for Auntie's advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie's advice. Well, welcome everybody. Again, this is Auntie. Welcome to Auntie's Advice. I feel a little anxious about sharing this story, but I figured that I would discuss it in yeah. Just the other day, Daonte took to a content creator's YouTube channel and did an interview. That content creator was Kiki and Kibbitz, and they talked about Daonte's past, his presence, his presence, and his future. And after that interview, the members and I decided that we would have yet another conversation with Daonte because there were some things that I felt like I wanted to know. It intrigued me to know more about what was going on with Daonte. In that interview, that or that discussion, because it wasn't really an interview. In that interview, we discussed at length. I think the interview, the video was golly, almost 2 hours, if it wasn't 2 hours, that we sat and we talked with Daonte about where he currently is in his relationship with Addy. And I had informed them that, I had had an opportunity to meet Addy. And I thought that she was, a really sweet woman. And anything that I say and or do is not to demean or to attack Addy in any way or Daonte. We were just curious and wanted to get more information on what was going on. Also in that interview, Daonte talked about some things that were just really shocking with us. He talked about how he is earning money right now. He talked about, at length about the seizure that he had and how that has affected his life. And he had also had a discussion. We also had a discussion about the things that were going on and the allegations that were being made on social media. The reason why I got into it is one, because as you all know, I have a relationship with Daonte. And I have been following him, for quite some time, just like a bunch of, some of you all. And I really wanted to, okay. So I really wanted to, to talk with him, but he shared some information about some things that were coming up. And he had asked, well, did he ask us not to say anything? No, he didn't. He had just talked about some things that he was putting in place, in order to, ensure that he stayed in his son's life. Of course, there were suggestions that were made by me and by other people in the comment section. and I stand 10 toes down to the ground about the suggestions that I made. Well, just wanted to let you all know. Um, and to the members, you all are already, or already, you all are aware of this. There has been a filing, and there has been a filing, and we're going to talk about what led to this point, what was said that may have pushed things this far. What could this meaning for everyone involved, especially baby DJ? And we're going to briefly kind of walk through the timeline, the reactions, and what people are saying online, because this just really got real. Um, Special shout out to Daonte for even having a conversation with us in the chat as the members. So in the state of Virginia, um, just 1 second. There has been a petition that has been filed pursuant to, y'all know I got to read this, right? Because y'all know my background. Pursuant to section 116.1 hyphen 24, 1, open paren A3, close paren, of the 1950 Code of Virginia as amended, there has been a filing for custody determination for baby DJ. Now, when we talk, and this is in the state of Virginia, there has been a court date set sometime in the very near future. And I am not going to disclose when that court date is. I'm sure that someone else will get on their grind and find it, but you won't be getting that information from me right now. But there has been a filing made in the court of Virginia, which is, of course, you all know, a Commonwealth state. Let me not be technical, okay? There has been a filing for determination of custody. And we have seen emails after emails of them fighting, the two of them going back and forth on social media concerning the baby. There was a comment that, if I can find it, that Addy made, saying it's a shame that this man is taking care of your baby. And or don't forget that he's taking care of your baby. Let me see if I can find any of this. No, this is where let's see if I can find that amongst these things. Just 1 second, let's see. Let's see. I want to see if I can find the email or the text message where she indicated. I cannot find it, and I hate when I do that to myself. Um, there was a a a a shared statement from her saying this man is taking care of your baby. Don't forget he's taking care of your baby. Another man's taking care of your son. That is not a flex. That's not funny. And that is basically a aha in your face. And when I saw it, and I don't know why I don't have it on here, but okay. I was horrified that a new baby mother would put something out there like that as a gotcha moment, a put down. And I believe that this was one of the things that motivated Daonte from doing something. During the conversation that we had in the membership session that we had with Daonte, he had mentioned an incident with between he and Addy, where he, of course, we all know that Daonte has had several seizures. Some of those things that I pulled up were referencing a GoFundMe. When you have seizures, you cannot drive for up to 6 months, I believe it is. You lose wages, which Daonte has had to do. She, you know, kind of went after his mom. Not kind of. She went after his mom for being on Section 8. It was a lot of stuff that was being said out on social media, not private whatsoever. So I can imagine how a dad who um, is unable to be at his best right now will feel. So we know that Addy is currently engaged. It had that Daonte mentioned to us that she has moved to South Carolina with this child. Again, we didn't even need him to mention that because she's already let us know that they're engaged and she's, raising her son somewhere else and this man is taking care of the child. And so Daonte feel compelled to have to do something as a dad to his son. Or maybe, possibly, lose his son forever. Now, I know that people say things when they're angry, but sometimes you may just spark or push the wrong button and everything just blows up. And I think that that is where we are with this. Everything has blown up. Someone has sent me some text messages, and I think that, some other people had talked about it, but, sometimes I have my head down in the sand of a conversation, right? Let me see if I can get it in the right order. It's some screenshots that are also disturbing. In these screenshot shots, it appears that Addy is having a conversation with someone. And she says, hold on, let me see what order it's in. So let me just read it in the order that I have it. It says, yeah, probably, but IDGAF. I don't give up. If we split, I get child support for 18 years. So, smiley face. Facts is what the other person said. Right. He definitely going to be broke ASF if we split. Then I ain't got to even deal with him and still get the money. So either way, the other person said it comes out automatically wherever they were. Oh, I know. Smiley face, smiley face. How much does your man pay? Almost 200 a week for his two with his ex-wife, but they live in Florida. So she's talking about the other man now. I guess he gonna be baby daddy. No. Okay. Girl, it's okay because when my ex get brought into it, it's going to be funny. They can't handle the heat at all. Oh yeah, I'm pretty. I'm petty, and he won't even know what I've done. Hell no, they can't. Girl, the only reason I'm still here is because I don't want to work. Come on, Addy. And I want to heal from having my baby. Girl, that part, I quit my job, so I'm basically relying on him. Girl, Daonte threw me out the car in Virginia Beach and drove off and screamed at me on my birthday. But you wanted to stay with him so you didn't have to work. You stayed with him throughout the pregnancy. At this point, she said she was only 6 weeks. You had 7 more moms. So there has been a filing. Daonte has done what he needed to do. And I know that many people gonna have opposing views to it. Some people gonna be like, "God dang it, you do what you gotta do." Whatever side you stand on, I ain't got nothing to do with that. But let me tell you what I think. If this was my brother, and I think that I take everything that way. If this was my family, no offense to Addy whatsoever. You do what you gotta do. You wanna be capped, you go ahead and be capped. I want to work. Okay. I want my own. I don't want to have to ask nobody for nothing. But if this was one of my brothers, one of my close friends, one of my uncles, one of my cousins, I would tell them to do exactly what Daonte is doing. Now, I don't know if she's reaching out to him now or making more threats. You know, you ain't going to see the baby, all that. I don't know anything about all of that. Maybe that will rise up to the surface. I'm hoping not. But I'm hoping that this stops all of the confusion, the arguing, the bickering, the accusations, the shade, the bullshit that has been going on downtown on social media. I'm hoping it stops it because now we can ready to go to court. We're getting ready to go to court, and I feel really really bad because I was so hopeful for this relationship. I said to the members that I knew how much having a baby meant to Daonte. As many of you all know, he has a sister who he has practically raised her kids as his own. And we all knew that he desired a baby. He said on in the interview with Kiki and Kibitz that he did not even think he could even have a baby, and to have one and have a woman to get up and move your baby to another state, put parameters around when you can see and when you haven't done anything wrong. Now I can see if she had came out and was like, he dropped the baby on his head, he's been irresponsible, he hasn't kept a roof over our head when I'm dancing late at night and all of that kind of stuff, right? He don't take care of the baby hither and thither. None of that has come out. All of this has been about petty, dumb stuff. Even the fact that when they she got charged. And Daonte indicated in that same interview that he had gotten bit But that while he was on the phone with the baby in his hand, calling 911, trying to de escalate, according to him, that she was on the phone, on her phone, screaming, "Help me," with the tears and all of that. And according to what he said, the only thing that saved him was the bite marks. When we were in the interview with Daonte on the membership, and it's still up, when we were in an interview with Daonte, I asked him flat out, why did she walk away from the charges? Did I not, members? I asked, why did she walk away from the charges? Because I think sometimes you need to be held, people need to be held responsible for the stuff that they do. I don't know, anyway. Daonte told us at that time he ain't show up. He ain't want to go. He didn't go. I said, Daonte, before I could even think, I said, Daonte, you stupid. It came out before I could even, I didn't even realize it came out. It just flat came out. Didn't it, members? It flat came out. Because there is such a stigma around certain ethnicities that they deadbeat dads, they don't want to be in their children's lives, they not able to take care of them, they dog out their baby mamas, they all got a bunch of baby mamas, they irresponsible with parenthood. And that is not always the truth. And if that were the truth, you can find a man from every race, color, creed, religion on God's green earth. But there is a special stigma that is put on African American men. I'm just flat out going to say it. It is. And here you got this loving father who's going out and working by her own admission. She didn't have to work. And her intention was not to work. She wanted to be taken care of. That's why you got to watch what you put on social media. And so now we wait. Members, we will have a further discussion where I will disclose more information than what I am willing to talk about right here. But I wanted you all to know why they have gotten to this place, how I feel about it. I feel like you got to do what you got to do, especially when someone is throwing in your face another man is taking care of your child. It's not because he did not want a relationship. It's because you upped and moved and you with another man. And the thing about it is, Daonte said that when he went down to go and see her, and I don't know if I even continue that conversation, but he had told us of a story where he went down to South Carolina to see the baby, and that when he got there, right, when he got there to see the baby, he only had 2 hours in a mall to see his baby. He talked about another incident where he had the baby and that she did not leave him with a car seat, as if he was going to take the baby. See, some stuff you do is just spiteful, but in her thing, she says she is Patty Patty, and she gonna get that money for the next 18 years. But a baby isn't money. It's not a guaranteed money grab. You don't have babies to lock down our income for 18 years. Just the very thought of saying, oh, I'm getting that money for 18 years, I ain't want to be taken care of, makes me as a mom feel just a little slightly embarrassed because we all don't think like that. I talked about my relationship and the things that I went through and how I made sure that things was fair and equitable between me and my baby daddy. Yeah, I got a baby daddy. But how I worked, as many women do, to survive and strive and thrive with my baby. So to hear women say, I just wanted to, I thought much better of this young lady. I'm sure that, there will probably be some people, like I said, who will do some research and probably will come out and give you the exact court date and stuff like that. Again, I don't feel compelled to share that information. But I do want you all to know, and especially to the members who were there to support, that Daonte has started his custody battle, as he indicated in our interview with him. It's on and it's about to be popping. My advice to Daonte and to Addy, whether you take it, you respect it, you call me a fat, black, ugly, whatever y'all want to do. My advice is try to work something out before you get there, so when you get there you have an agreement. I shared how with me and my child's father that we went to mediation and arbitration. We did not go before a judge for child support. We did not battle, whoop, bang, and swang and all of that. And we could have. But we chose to be adults. And when our hearing day came up, we had an arbitrator who sat down with the finances like we was doing a bank transaction. At this point, it was, for my child. I knew I wasn't giving my child up, right? And I knew he wasn't, probably wanting a baby. I don't know. I ain't giving no choice. Fuck it. I wanted full custody, right? But we sat down as grown adults and we did it through arbitration. We did it through mediation. And the courts do allow that. They allow you the opportunity to sit down with your finances and say, okay, you want this, you make this amount of money, you make this amount of money. Okay, you got this coming out, you got these necessities coming out. Now this is what is left in the basket. What y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? And then the thing about it, this man had 2 seizures, and you kick him while he down. Karma is up. You know what? I ain't even gonna go there. I'm hoping that the two of you all, prior to you getting there, this is my hope and my prayer for both Daonte and for Addy, is that you all work this out before you get there. So that when you get there, you make your petition known. You're not fighting. You're not woo banging in the street. You ain't got your family all in there, family against family. the guy against Daonte because these two guys ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, a woman is very powerful. A woman's influence is more powerful than a man's physical strength. And if you don't remember nothing else, remember that. A woman's influence is much more powerful than a man's physical strength. And we can be, as Addy said, petty. We can be manipulative. We can do all of that. But you know what? It is not. How is it going to benefit the baby? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And in this instance, Deontay did what he needed to do. It ain't but so many aha moments. It ain't but so many shocking text messages and stuff that's going to be released. Deontay did what he had to do. And frankly, I see why he did it. Sorry, Addy. I see why he did it. You got a lot to learn in the next couple of months. And I hope you learn it. I hope y'all really get together. I really, really do. Let me grab some of y'all comments. Pam is saying that they have to put themselves aside and okay, 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 okay. Ray my moderator. Of course, you all know she was in the chat. Okay, thank you, Courtney. Anyway, that's the end of my review. Um, it's okay, Pam. That's the end of my review. Y'all let me know what y'all think downtown in the comment section. This is very, very unfortunate. This is so unfortunate. But I think at this point it's necessary. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all have a great day on purpose. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Keep it going on in the conversation box.